Kira stood on the royal observation platform watching the stars through the crystal dome. The twin moons of Lyra cast silver light across the palace gardens below. She touched the pendant at her neck, a small fragment of metal from the human ship. That saved her world 5 years ago. 5 years since the day everything changed. The day humans entered galactic politics in a way no one expected. The Zarthian invasion fleet had surrounded Lyra, their massive warships blocking the sunlight from reaching the surface. Kira remembered the terror as the palace shook from orbital bombardment. Her father, King Xenar, had been ready to surrender to save what remained of their people. Then a single human vessel appeared. The Earth ship Defender, small, compared to the Zarthian dreadnoughts but moving with incredible speed. The humans fought with unexpected tactics, striking critical systems, then vanishing before counterattacks could land. Kira watched through palace telescopes as Captain Olivia Taylor executed maneuvers the Zarthian ships could not match. Within hours, the invasion fleet retreated, leaving behind disabled vessels and confusion. No one had expected humans to prevail. Their technology was considered primitive by most galactic species. Yet they succeeded where others had failed. Kira never met the human captain after the battle. Olivia Taylor refused all medals and honors from the Lyran royal family. She simply departed with her crew, saying it was their duty to help those in need. Kira had only seen her in transmissions, her brown skin and short dark hair framing a face with eyes that reminded Kira of deep oceans. Now humans would attend the Galactic Council Summit for the first time. As Crown Princess, Kira would represent Lyra. The diplomatic gathering on neutral space station Harmony would bring together representatives from 12 species. Kira felt her hearts beating faster beneath her ceremonial robes. She had requested specifically to meet Captain Taylor. Her advisor Thala approached with concerned eyes. The tall, blue-skinned woman had served the royal family for decades. Her long fingers adjusted Kira's formal collar. "Kira, are you certain about this plan?" Thala asked softly. "Your father does not approve of your interest in these humans. What my father approves of stopped mattering when he tried to arrange my marriage to General Vorks to secure a military alliance." Kira replied, "I am Crown Princess now. Our laws give me authority to choose my own path." Thala sighed. "You cannot base such an important decision on gratitude alone. These humans are newcomers to space. Their customs, their biology, their very way of thinking differs from ours. You barely know them. It is not merely gratitude." Kira turned from the viewport. "Have you studied human history?" Thala. "They fought wars against themselves for centuries, yet they survived. They nearly destroyed their planet, but they healed it. They faced extinction multiple times, yet they endured. Their resilience fascinates me." The royal shuttle departed the next morning, carrying Kira, Thala, and a small delegation of advisors. The journey to Harmony Station took 3 days through jump points in space. Kira spent the time studying human culture, their art, literature, music, and philosophy. The more she learned, the more she wanted to know. Harmony Station appeared before them, a massive structure, rotating slowly against the backdrop of a nebula. Its design incorporated architectural elements from all member species, creating a blend of styles that somehow worked in harmony. Kira appreciated the symbolism. The Lyran delegation was greeted with formal protocol. Their quarters occupied the eastern section of the diplomatic ring with views of approaching ships. Kira watched as vessels from across the galaxy arrived, carrying representatives from worlds she had only read about. The Vorn Confederacy ships arrived sleek and predatory. The reptilian Vorn controlled major trade routes and made certain everyone knew their importance. The ancient Zilari came next, their living vessels resembling massive sea creatures rather than constructed ships. Then the crystalline Tharn, the gaseous Myth, and others. The Earth delegation arrived last. Their ships lacked the grandeur of ancient species but displayed clean, efficient design. Captain Olivia Taylor led the human representatives. Kira recognized her immediately from recordings. Her uniform was simple compared to the elaborate garments worn by other delegates, but she carried herself with quiet confidence that made others take notice. The formal reception began that evening in the Grand Hall. Representatives from all worlds mingled, exchanging carefully worded pleasantries. Kira stood with Thala observing. The room, she noticed how some delegates avoided the humans, while others approached with obvious curiosity. Ambassador Grax of the Vorn moved through the crowd. His scaled skin shimmered with oils designed to display his status. His 4 bodyguards kept close watch around him. The Vorn had opposed human inclusion in galactic politics from the beginning, claiming they were too primitive, too unpredictable, too dangerous. He stopped before Kira, bowing with practiced precision. "Princess Kira," he said, his voice carrying the hissing undertone of his species. "We are honored by your presence. May this summit strengthen the ancient bonds between our peoples." "Thank you, Ambassador Grax." Kira replied with formal politeness. "I look forward to productive discussions." Grax glanced toward the human delegation. "The newcomers seem out of place, do they not? So young, so inexperienced in galactic matters. One wonders why they were invited at all. Perhaps because they bring fresh perspective," Kira suggested. "Or perhaps because they defeated a Zarthian invasion fleet when no one else would even try." Grax narrowed his vertical pupils. "A temporary victory. Princess Luck favors the foolish occasionally. But luck is not a foundation for galactic policy. The humans will learn their place in time." Kira felt anger rising but maintained her diplomatic composure. "The summit will reveal much about all of us, Ambassador. I believe in judging actions rather than assumptions." As Grax moved away, Thala leaned closer. "That was unwise. Princess, the Vorn control trade routes we need. Then perhaps we should develop new routes with new partners," Kira replied. Her gaze found Olivia Taylor across the room. The human captain was speaking with representatives from 3 different worlds, smiling at something one said. Her face transformed with joy in a way Kira rarely saw among the formal political circles she inhabited. "I must meet her," Kira decided, moving across the room before Thala could object. The crowd parted. Before the Lyran princess, creating a path directly to the human delegation, Olivia turned as Kira approached their eyes. "Meeting Captain Taylor," Kira said formally. "It is an honor to finally meet you in person. Lyra owes you a debt that cannot be repaid. The honor is mine. Princess Kira." Olivia bowed slightly. "Please call me Olivia. Formalities make me uncomfortable." Kira smiled, feeling strangely at ease despite the importance of this meeting. "I would like that. And you must call me Kira when protocols do not require otherwise." The other delegates watched with interest as Princess and Captain began to talk. The symbolic significance of Lyra openly engaging with Earth was lost on no one. This summit might change the balance of power in ways no one had anticipated, and it was only beginning. The formal meetings began the next day. Representatives from 12 worlds gathered in the circular council chamber. Each delegation sat at curved tables arranged like the petals of a flower. The design ensured no species appeared more important than others. The center remained empty, neutral ground where speakers stood to address the gathering. Kira wore the formal crown of Lyra for the opening session, delicate metal strands woven with living crystal flowers that responded to her emotions. The Lyran delegation sat between the ancient Zelari and the desert-dwelling Mokai Olivia, and the humans occupied a section near the entrance. The newest members of Galactic Society, given the traditional position of observers, Kira noticed how the human captain paid careful attention to each speaker, taking notes by hand rather than relying on automated systems. The first days involved ceremonial introductions. Each world presented their current status and primary concerns. Most reports were carefully crafted to reveal little while suggesting strength. Kira found herself watching Olivia during these presentations. The human showed genuine interest in each species, her expressions unguarded compared to the practiced masks of veteran diplomats. During breaks between sessions, Kira sought out Olivia. The human captain seemed equally interested in learning about Lyra. They found a quiet viewing area overlooking the docking bays. "Your world has 2 suns and 3 moons," Olivia remarked, watching ships arrive and depart. "The orbital mechanics must be fascinating," Kira nodded. "The dance of celestial bodies shapes our culture in many ways. Our calendar tracks 13 cycles within each orbit. We celebrate the alignment of moons as sacred." Olivia smiled. "On Earth we have only 1 moon, but humans have written poetry about it for thousands of years. Some ancient cultures believed it had magical properties. Tell me about Earth, Kira requested. I have studied your broadcasts, your literature, but I would like to hear from you. Olivia described oceans that covered most of her planet, mountains that reached toward the sky, deserts, forests, grasslands, tundra. She spoke of animals and plants that had evolved alongside humans. The diversity amazed. Kira, Lyra had fewer distinct ecosystems. The biological variety on your world must give humans an advantage. Kira suggested, you evolved with so much change, so many different environments. It explains your adaptability. Olivia considered this. Perhaps, though we nearly destroyed that diversity many times, our history includes terrible environmental mistakes. We learned the hard way that balance matters. Their conversations continued over meals and between meetings. Kira found herself drawn to the human perspective. Olivia asked questions no one in the royal court ever dared. She challenged assumptions Kira had never examined. She spoke of human concepts like democracy, personal freedom, and self-determination. The other delegates noticed the growing connection between Princess and Captain. Rumors spread quickly through Harmony Station. Ambassador Grax watched with obvious disapproval. The Vorn had long sought closer ties with Lyra, specifically a marriage alliance between Kira and a high-ranking Vorn official. On the fourth day of the summit, Kira invited Olivia to join her for a private meal in the Lyran quarters. Thala prepared traditional foods, explaining each dish to the human guest. This root grows only in the northern continent, Thala said, presenting a blue spiral vegetable. It absorbs minerals from deep underground, giving it the color and flavor. Olivia tried each item with genuine enthusiasm. Her reactions delighted Kira, who had grown tired of courtly manners where no one showed true feelings about anything. This is amazing, Olivia exclaimed after tasting a sweet fruit dessert. The layers of flavor change as you eat it. Kira smiled. It is called Stella Berry. It grows only during the third moon alignment, when all three moons appear in a straight line from the surface. After the meal, they moved to the observation lounge. The space between stars stretched before them, a quiet moment away from politics and protocols. Your people have been in space for thousands of years, Olivia said. Yet you seem more interested in humans than in the ancient species at this summit. Why is that? Kira considered her answer. The ancient ones look backward. They preserve what was. Their knowledge runs deep but narrow, like a river that has carved the same path for eons. Humans look forward. You ask why not rather than why. You seek new paths, Olivia laughed softly. Some would call that reckless. Perhaps, Kira agreed. But sometimes the universe requires recklessness. I watched your ship dance. Through Zarthian fire, any other captain would have retreated. You found a way when logic said there was none. Their eyes met in the starlight. Something unspoken passed between them. A recognition of kindred spirits despite different worlds, different biology, different histories. The moment ended when Thala entered. Princess, the Vorn ambassador requests an audience. He waits in the diplomatic chamber. Kira sighed, straightening her formal robes. Duty calls, Captain Taylor. Olivia stood. I understand, Princess. Thank you for a wonderful evening. Ambassador Grax paced the diplomatic chamber when Kira arrived. His tail swished with barely contained agitation. A sign of strong emotion among the Vorn princess, he began without formal greeting. Your behavior causes concern among traditional allies. My behavior. Kira kept her voice neutral. Your frequent meetings with the humans. Specifically, Captain Taylor. The Vorn Confederacy has supported Lyra for centuries. We expect certain courtesies in return. Kira maintained her diplomatic composure. I meet with many delegates during the summit. As Crown Princess, it is my duty to understand all perspectives. Grax moved closer, his scales catching the light. This goes beyond diplomatic obligation. The humans manipulate you, Princess. Their technology, their culture, their very biology is inferior. Yet you treat them as equals. Kira felt anger rising but controlled it carefully. I have studied human history, Ambassador. Their journey to the stars came later than ours, but they persevered through challenges that would have destroyed many species. They developed art and literature that rivals any in the galaxy. They value individual choice alongside community responsibility. They are not inferior. They are simply different. The Vorn ambassador drew himself to full height, towering over Kira. Your father understands the importance of traditional alliances, Princess. Perhaps you should consult him before damaging relationships that have stood for generations. My father no longer speaks for Lyra. Kira replied firmly. I do. And I will form alliances based on shared values, not ancient obligations. As Grax departed, Thala entered, concern evident in her expression. You make dangerous enemies. Princess, the Vorn control shipping lanes we depend upon. Then we will find new lanes. Kira said, I will not be threatened or controlled, especially not by those who call themselves allies. That night alone in her quarters, Kira made a decision, one that would change everything. She activated her private communication system, contacting the Royal Council on Lyra. The faces of 7 elders appeared before her. Their expressions showed surprise at the unexpected call. Honored Council. Kira began, I invoke the right of selection. As Crown Princess, I claim my right to choose a personal ambassador from any allied world. The council members exchanged glances. The eldest spoke. This is unexpected, Princess. The right has not been used in 3 generations. Are you certain? I am. Kira confirmed. I have found someone worthy. Someone whose perspective will strengthen Lyra. The council members whispered among themselves. Finally, the eldest nodded. We acknowledge your right, Princess. The ancient law stands. Who do you choose? Captain Olivia Taylor of Earth. Kira announced, her voice firm. Silence followed. The implications were enormous. Under Lyran law, a personal ambassador chosen through the right of selection received special status. They became not merely diplomatic representatives, but royal companions, with authority second only to the crown. The position traditionally led to deeper connections, often marriage. The council cannot approve this. The second elder said finally, the humans are too new, too unknown. You need not approve. Kira reminded them, the law requires only that you witness my choice. I will announce it at the final summit gathering. As the communication ended, Kira looked out at the stars. Her path was set now. There would be consequences, resistance, perhaps even danger. But for the first time since becoming Crown Princess, she felt truly certain about a decision. The next day would change everything. Not just for her, but for humans, Lyrans, and perhaps the entire galactic balance of power. The final day of the summit arrived. Delegations prepared for the closing ceremony where formal agreements would be signed. Kira dressed in the full regalia of Lyra. The crown jewels adorned her ceremonial robes. Crystal flowers pulsed with light, responding to her emotions. The pendant containing metal from the human ship rested against her chest, hidden beneath layers of traditional garments. Thala helped arrange the complex headpiece that signified royal authority. Her movements were precise, but her eyes showed worry. The council members contacted me this morning. Thala said, they urged me to change your mind. And what did you tell them? Kira asked, meeting her advisors. Gaze in the mirror. That the Crown Princess of Lyra does not make decisions lightly, Thala replied. And that perhaps it is time for new thinking. Kira turned surprised. Thank you. I thought you disapproved. I did. But I have watched you with the human. She challenges you, inspires you. I have not seen such life in you since before your mother passed. Our people need a leader who looks forward, not only backward. The grand hall filled with delegates for the final gathering, 12 species arranged according to protocol. The ancient races seated nearest the center, newer members. Toward the edges, elaborate refreshments featured culinary traditions from all worlds. Ceremonial guards from each delegation stood at attention, their diverse weapons and armor creating a display of galactic diversity. Kira noticed Olivia immediately. The human captain wore her formal Earth Alliance dress uniform, dark blue with silver trim. Simple compared to the elaborate garments of other delegates, but striking in its clean lines. Her short hair framed a face that showed genuine interest in those around her. Unlike many who attended out of obligation, Olivia seemed truly engaged with each conversation. Ambassador Grax approached Kira, his scales polished to a high shine for the occasion. 4 Vorn guards followed, maintaining precise formation. Around him, Princess, he bowed formally. I trust you have reconsidered our discussion. The Vorn Confederacy values its historical relationship with Lyra. We would be distressed to see it damaged by hasty decisions. I never make hasty decisions. Ambassador, Kira replied, my choices are carefully considered. I value history, but I must prioritize Lyra's. Future Grax leaned closer, speaking softly. Remember, Princess trade routes can close as easily as they open. Allies can become less friendly. Resources can become scarce. These are simple facts, not threats. Kira met his gaze without flinching. I understand facts very well, Ambassador, including the fact that diversity brings strength. New allies create new opportunities, and those who rely on threats rather than mutual benefit often find themselves isolated. The Vorn ambassador stepped back, his vertical pupils narrowing. Your father would be disappointed, Princess. He understood the value of tradition. My father nearly surrendered our world to the Zarthians, Kira reminded him. Tradition would have seen our people enslaved, innovation saved us. I will remember both lessons. As Grax departed, Olivia approached. She had observed the exchange from across the room but had not interfered. Diplomatic tensions. She asked with a small smile. Ambassador Grax believes in preserving the established order, Kira explained. The Vorn have held influence for millennia. They dislike change, especially change they cannot control. Olivia nodded. Some on Earth felt the same. When we first encountered alien life, fear of the unknown is universal, I think. But so is curiosity. The desire to explore, to connect across differences. Those competing instincts define us. The ceremonial bells chimed, signaling the start of formal proceedings. All delegates moved to their assigned positions. The Galactic Council's chief administrator, a Zalari elder, whose age was measured in centuries, began the proceedings. His translucent body glowed with internal light as he spoke. We gather to conclude this summit. Honored delegates may, the agreements reached here strengthen all our worlds. Each delegation presented their final statements. Most spoke of cooperation, stability, and tradition. The humans, when their turn came, spoke of growth, exploration, and shared discovery. Olivia delivered their statement with conviction that resonated through the hall. The final ceremony neared its conclusion. The administrator prepared to close the proceedings when Kira stepped forward unscheduled. Her movement caused a stir among the delegates. Unexpected deviations from protocol were rare at these gatherings. I request recognition to speak, Kira announced. The crystal crown upon her head pulsed with light, emphasizing her royal authority. The administrator hesitated, then nodded. Crown Princess Kira of Lyra has the floor. Kira moved to the center of the hall, feeling all eyes upon her. Honored delegates, she began. I wish to make an announcement of significance. As Crown Princess of Lyra, I have the authority to establish new diplomatic relations. I hereby declare a formal alliance between Lyra and Earth. Murmurs spread through the gathering. This was unexpected. Several delegations exchanged concerned glances. The Vorn ambassador visibly stiffened. The Zarthian representative stood in protest. The human ships cannot protect you, Princess. They barely defeated one of our fleets. Their victory was chance, not strength. Kira turned to face the Zarthian. We do not seek this alliance for protection. We seek it for growth. Humans approach problems differently. They find solutions where we see only obstacles. Their creativity, their adaptability, their willingness to question. These are strengths the galaxy needs. The human delegation looked surprised. Olivia watched Kira with widened eyes, clearly not having been informed of this announcement in advance. There is more. Kira continued. According to royal tradition, I may choose a personal ambassador from any allied world. This ambassador receives diplomatic status and royal protection. Under the ancient right of selection, I choose Captain Olivia Taylor of Earth. Gasps echoed through the hall. No crown royal had invoked the right of selection in 3 generations. The implications were enormous. Under Lyran law, a personal ambassador chosen through this right became second only to the royal in authority. Their position traditionally led to deeper connections. Often Marriage Ambassador Grax stood his tail, lashing with anger. "This is outrageous. The humans manipulate you, princess. Their technology, their culture, their very biology is inferior. They are barely more than primitives." Kira faced him with calm dignity. "I have studied human history. Ambassador, their journey to the stars came later than ours. But they persevered through challenges that would have destroyed many species. They value individual freedom alongside collective responsibility. They are not inferior. They are simply different. And difference brings strength, not weakness." The hall fell silent as Kira descended from the platform and approached Olivia. "Do you accept this position, Captain?" Olivia stood tall. "I would be honored, Princess. But I must ask, why me? Because you showed me something 5 years ago?" Kira replied. "You showed me that sometimes salvation comes from unexpected places, that we must look beyond old prejudices to find new allies, that courage knows no species, boundary." Olivia extended her hand in human fashion. Kira took it, feeling the warmth of human skin against her own. The gesture sent another wave of whispers through the gathered delegates. The symbolic importance of their physical contact was lost on no one. The remainder of the ceremony continued according to protocol, but the atmosphere had changed. The unexpected alliance between Lyra and Earth altered the political landscape. All previous arrangements now required reconsideration. New possibilities emerged, new threats as well. As delegates began to depart, Kira and Olivia stood together, watching ships prepare for departure. The Vorn vessels left first, their engines flaring with excessive power, a display of strength that fooled no one. "You realize what you have done," Ambassador Thala said, joining them. "The Vorn will retaliate. They control trade routes we depend upon." "Then we will find new routes," Kira replied. "Perhaps with human assistance," Olivia nodded. "Earth has extensive mining operations in our solar system. We can begin trading directly with Lyra, bypassing traditional channels and the personal ambassador position," Thala added. "You understand its full meaning under our laws, the implications." "I do," Kira confirmed, and Captain Taylor, Olivia smiled gently. "In preparation for this summit, I studied Lyran culture extensively, including the right of selection. I know that traditionally the chosen ambassador becomes more than a diplomatic representative. They become a companion to the crown, often leading to deeper connections." Kira felt her hearts beat faster. "You knew, yet you accepted Earth needs allies," Olivia said. "But more than that, I believe in building bridges between worlds, between species. The unknown should inspire wonder, not fear." Their journey back to Lyra would begin tomorrow. The royal shuttle would carry not only the princess and her delegation, but also the first human to hold position in the Lyran court. Many challenges lay ahead. Opposition from traditionalists, threats from displaced powers, the biological challenges of different species forming close bonds. But as Kira looked at Olivia in the light of distant stars, she felt certainty. This connection between them, between their worlds, represented something the galaxy needed. The wisdom of ancient species combined with human innovation, the stability of tradition, enhanced by adaptation and growth. Something new was beginning. And though the path ahead held danger, it also held promise. The royal ship Lyran Dawn emerged from the jump point in orbit around Lyra. The blue-green world with its twin suns appeared before them, swirling clouds covering vast oceans. The 3 moons arranged in their eternal dance reflected sunlight like distant jewels. Kira stood at the main viewport with Olivia beside her. "Welcome to my homeworld, Captain." Olivia gazed at the planet below. It's beautiful, the colors, the cloud patterns. Even from space it feels alive. "It is," Kira confirmed. "Our world has strong bioenergy fields. Plants, animals, and Lyrans share consciousness on certain levels. It creates a planetary awareness. We feel connected to our world in ways other species sometimes find difficult to understand." A fleet of ceremonial vessels approached, escorting the royal ship toward the palace landing platform. Their hulls gleamed with traditional symbols. Each represented a noble house of Lyra. Their presence signified formal welcome, but Kira noticed fewer ships than tradition required. Some houses protest your decision. Thala explained, following Kira's gaze. They show disapproval by absence. I expected no less, Kira replied. The old houses fear change. They will adapt or they will fade. Either way, Lyra moves forward. The landing proceeded, with formal precision guards in ceremonial armor lined the platform as Kira descended from the ship. Olivia followed a step behind as protocol required for the personal ambassador. The Royal Council waited at the base of the stairs, their expressions mixed, some showing support, others clear disapproval. King Xenar was notably absent. His empty throne in the reception hall spoke volumes about his position. Kira had expected this. Her father had opposed human involvement since the Zarthian conflict, believing that isolation offered better protection than new alliances. The eldest counselor, Mentor Varric, stepped forward to present the formal welcome. His age showed in the silvery tone of his skin and the wisdom crystals embedded along his temples. Crown, Princess Kira, we welcome your return to Lyra. He bowed formally. The council acknowledges your invocation of the selection rite and recognizes Captain Olivia Taylor of Earth as your personal ambassador. Thank you, Mentor. Varric, Kira replied. We are grateful for the council's recognition. The reception continued according to ancient protocols. Olivia handled the complex ceremonies with surprising grace. She had clearly studied Lyran customs extensively, moving through the formal patterns of greeting, accepting the ritual foods and participating in the traditional exchanges without error. Later, as they walked through the crystal gardens of the palace, Kira explained the political situation. The noble houses of Lyra had governed alongside the royal family for thousands of years, their power balanced through intricate arrangements of marriage alliances, trade agreements, and shared resources. Kira's selection of a human ambassador disrupted generations of expectations. The House of Vareth expected me to choose their son, Kira explained as they passed beneath flowering trees that responded to their presence, petals turning to follow their movement. He would have connected our bloodline to their mining operations, and House Marath believed their daughter would be selected, Thala added, joining them. They control agricultural production in the southern continent, so I have disappointed many. Olivia observed, you have broken patterns that needed breaking. Kira corrected. The houses grew complacent, their power unchallenged. Sometimes systems need disruption to grow stronger. They reached a crystalline structure at the garden center, a monument to the Zarthian conflict. 5 pillars represented the 5 days of battle. The central column incorporated metal from the human ship. Defender, I requested this memorial, Kira said, placing her hand against the cool surface. The Royal Council wanted something more traditional, emphasizing Lyran resilience. I insisted on acknowledging the truth. Without Earth, we would have fallen. Olivia touched the metal, feeling connection to her former ship, her crew. I was simply doing my duty. Any captain would have responded to your distress call, but not any captain would have succeeded, Kira replied. Your tactics, your courage, these made the difference. Your willingness to try when others calculated only failure. That evening, a formal dinner brought together the Royal Council and representatives from the 12 great houses of Lyra. Olivia sat at Kira's right hand, the position traditionally reserved for the chosen companion. The significance was lost on no one. Though some houses had refused to attend, enough were present to establish legitimacy. Lord Vareth spoke first during the meal, his voice carrying across the hall. Princess, your selection breaks traditions that have served Lyra for generations. The houses provide stability, governance, resources. We expected consultation before such a decision. Kira met his gaze. The selection right exists precisely because the crown must sometimes act independently of house interests. The founders understood that new blood, new perspectives strengthen us. Lady Morath interjected, but a human. The biological incompatibility. The cultural differences. The shortened lifespan. They live barely 2 centuries while we endure for 5. These differences bring strength, not weakness, Kira replied. Humans see patterns we miss. They question what we accept. They create what we believe impossible. As debate continued, Olivia observed, carefully speaking only when addressed directly. Her comments showed both respect for tradition and fresh perspective. The combination impressed even some who had opposed her selection. Later, as moonlight filtered through the palace windows, Kira and Olivia stood on the royal balcony overlooking the capital city. The buildings glowed with bioluminescent light, creating patterns that shifted and flowed like living art. "My father still refuses to meet you," Kira said. "He believes I made this decision too quickly. The royal council thinks I am naive." Olivia leaned against the stone railing. "Do you regret it?" "Never." Kira smiled. "You saved my world once. Now you help me rebuild it stronger than before. But there is something I have not told you. Something I kept hidden." "What is that?" Olivia asked. "Under Lyran law, the position I offered you has another meaning. One I did not publicly announce." Kira felt her hearts racing. "The royal ambassador traditionally becomes the life partner of the crown royal," Olivia finished softly. "I know I studied your customs before accepting the position." You knew. Kira stared at the human in surprise. "Why did you not say anything? I wanted to give you time." Olivia explained. "To be certain this is what you truly want. Not just alliance between worlds, but between us. As you said, our biologies differ. Our lifespans are not the same. These are significant challenges." Kira moved closer. "I have been certain since I saw your ship outmaneuver an entire invasion fleet. Since I learned you refused honors for saving millions. Since I came to know your mind and heart, humans may be newcomers to the stars, but your souls burn brighter than many ancient species." Olivia reached out, touching Kira's face gently. "On Earth we have a saying, the newest star in the sky still shines." Their moment of connection ended abruptly as Thala rushed onto the balcony. "Princess, urgent news. The Vorn have closed their trade routes to Lyran ships. 3 of our supply vessels have been seized. So it begins." Kira said, "The expected retaliation. Ambassador Grax sends formal protest against the Earth Alliance." Thala continued, "He claims violation of ancient treaties. He demands reconsideration and the seized ships." Olivia asked. "Held at the border station. There, crews detained. The cargo primarily medical supplies for the northern continent. We need those supplies," Kira said. "The healing centers depend on them." "I may have a solution," Olivia offered. "Earth vessels are not restricted by Vorn sanctions yet. We could transfer the medical supplies to human ships, bring them through alternate routes." Kira considered this. "It could work, but it would require coordination with Earth authorities. I will contact Earth Alliance immediately." Olivia said, "With your permission." Next days brought challenges as expected. The Vorn Confederacy announced formal trade restrictions against Lyra. Some noble houses blamed Kira for the hardships. Others saw opportunity in developing new trade relationships, particularly with humans. Earth responded with unexpected speed. Vessels arrived carrying not only the needed medical supplies but also technology, agricultural experts, and cultural exchange representatives. The human approach demonstrated exactly the adaptability Kira had valued. 1 month after Olivia's arrival at the royal palace, King Xenar finally requested a meeting. He received them in his private gardens, his once strong form now bent with age and worry. "You risk everything, daughter," he said after formal greetings. "Our relationships with established powers, our position in galactic politics. Centuries of carefully built alliances." "No, Father," Kira replied. "I secure our future. The old alliances failed us when the Zarthians attacked. The ancient powers calculated their advantage in remaining neutral. Only humans responded without calculation. They acted from principle." Xenar turned to Olivia, studying her with critical eyes. "Your species is young, Captain Taylor. Barely 1,000 years in space. Lyra has sailed the stars for 50,000 years. What can you offer that we have not already mastered?" Olivia met his gaze with respect but without submission. "Fresh perspective, Your Majesty. Sometimes age brings wisdom. Sometimes it brings rigid thinking. Humans question. We experiment. We fail often, but we learn from failure. The oldest species in the galaxy have forgotten how to fail, how to learn from mistakes. They perfect what exists, but rarely create what has never been. 1 year passed since the Galactic Council Summit. 1 year since Kira declared alliance with Earth and selected Olivia as her personal ambassador. The changes rippled through galactic society like waves from a stone dropped in still water. The formal union between Kira and Olivia took place beneath the 3 moons of Lyra. Representatives from 30 worlds attended, some out of diplomatic obligation, others from genuine interest. The ceremony combined Lyran traditions with human customs, creating something new. Ancient vows spoken alongside Earth, promises, crystal flowers entwined with roses brought from Terran gardens. The Vorn maintained their trade restrictions, but their impact lessened as new routes opened. Human ships now traveled regularly between Earth and Lyra, carrying goods, technology, and cultural exchange representatives. The ancient powers watched with concern as humans formed bonds with younger civilizations, bringing fresh perspectives to galactic politics. Kira and Olivia worked together, implementing changes to Lyran society. Small adjustments that honored tradition while embracing innovation. Humans excelled at adaptation, finding solutions to problems Lyrans had accepted as unchangeable. Their combined approach created something stronger than either culture alone could have developed. Not all welcomed these changes. The traditionalist faction led by Lord Vareth protested each deviation from established patterns. They claimed humans corrupted Lyran purity that Earth sought to dominate, not cooperate. 3 noble houses formally severed ties with the royal family, declaring themselves independent, a situation not seen in 2,000 years. On the anniversary of their union, Kira and Olivia traveled to the northern continent, visiting communities most affected by the Vorn trade restrictions. The royal shuttle landed near a healing center where human medical technology now complemented Lyran bioenergy treatments. The results impressed even skeptics. Patients recovered faster when both approaches worked together. The center's director, healer Soren, greeted them with formal respect but obvious enthusiasm. Princess Olivia, he bowed, using the title Lyrans had granted the human after the union ceremony. During combined vision transforms our work. The human medical devices enhance our traditional methods. We achieve healing previously thought impossible. Kira smiled, pleased by both the results and the acceptance Soren showed toward Olivia. This represents exactly what we hoped. Honoring traditional knowledge while embracing new approaches, they toured the facility, observing treatments. Patients from various regions received care, combining the best of both worlds. Human doctors worked alongside Lyran, healers learning from each other, adapting techniques to serve individual needs as they prepared to depart. Thela approached urgency in her movement. Princess sensors detect unidentified vessels entering orbit. They refuse identification protocols. Kira and Olivia exchanged concerned glances. Pirates, Olivia suggested. The royal guards moved into protective formation surrounding them. Communications devices activated as security protocols engaged. Not pirates. Thela said, reading incoming data. Zarthian. Warships. 6 dreadnoughts. They demand audience with the crown. Their weapon systems are active. The Zarthian Imperium had maintained minimal contact with Lyra since their failed invasion. 5 years of silence, broken only by formal diplomatic exchanges. At council gatherings, their sudden appearance with battle fleet suggested serious purpose. Kira straightened her shoulders. We will return to the palace immediately. Activate planetary defenses as precaution. Inform Earth Alliance of the situation. The journey back occurred at maximum speed. The royal shuttle escorted by fighter craft. Olivia remained in constant communication with Earth representatives, updating them on developments, requesting standby support without direct intervention. Yet, the situation required delicate handling. Zarthian pride was legendary. Any perceived aggression could trigger conflict. The palace war room filled with advisors, military commanders, and noble representatives, even those who opposed the human alliance. Political differences set aside in face of potential threat. The central display showed Zarthian vessels maintaining high orbit, their formation, suggesting readiness without immediate aggression. Ambassador Krell of the Zarthian Imperium requests. Audience. King Xenar announced, entering the chamber. He claims urgent matter affecting galactic security. Kira nodded. Prepare the formal reception hall. We will hear the ambassador with full diplomatic protocol, but maintain defense readiness. Olivia touched Kira's arm gently, speaking privately. I should remain unseen initially. The Zarthian defeat involved my ship. They may react negatively to my presence. Kira considered this. You are my partner, my ambassador. Your place is beside me, sometimes strategic. Patience serves better than bold statement. Olivia replied, I will observe from the adjacent chamber, ready to join if needed. Let us hear their purpose before revealing all our changes. The formal reception proceeded according to ancient protocols. Ambassador Krell entered with 4 guards. His massive form encased in ceremonial armor that displayed battle honors from centuries of conflict. The Zarthians evolved on a high-gravity world, giving them physical strength. Few species could match. Their culture emphasized conquest and honor in equal measure. Ambassador Krell. We welcome you to Lyra, Kira said from the royal dais. The Imperium honors us with your presence. Krell performed the minimal bow required by protocol. Princess Kira. The Zarthian Imperium brings warning. The ancient balance shifts. Forces gather beyond known space. Threats approach that concern all civilized worlds. Explain, Ambassador Kira requested. Krell activated a holographic projector. Images appeared showing unknown vessels at the edges of charted space. Their design unlike any recognized species. 18 standard months ago, our long-range patrols encountered these ships. They attacked without communication, without warning. 3 patrol vessels destroyed before retreat was possible. The gathered Lyrans murmured with concern. King Xenar leaned forward. Why bring this information to Lyra? The Imperium has closer allies. Krell faced the king directly. The unknown vessels appeared first near human expansion territories. We believed Earth might be responsible for these new weapons. But our investigations suggest otherwise. The humans encountered these intruders before any of us. Their colonies suffered first attacks. Kira processed this information. Why did Earth not report these encounters? The Imperium believes humans attempted defense alone. Krell continued. Their pride, their desire to prove themselves equal to established powers led to secrecy. But the threat grows. Our analysts project invasion force building. Beyond the spiral arm, a threat to all known species. From the adjacent chamber, Olivia watched the exchange with growing concern. The Zarthian claims contained truth, but twisted to serve their purpose. She signaled Thala requesting permission to enter. Thala consulted Kira, who nodded approval. The reception hall doors opened as Olivia walked in, her Earth Alliance uniform contrasting with the elaborate garments worn by Lyran nobles. Ambassador Krell stiffened, recognizing her immediately captain. Taylor, he growled. The human who interfered in Imperial matters. Olivia bowed with perfect formal precision. Ambassador Krell, I must correct several inaccuracies in your report. Earth has not hidden information about the unknown vessels we submitted. Detailed reports to the Galactic Council 6 months ago. The Council classified this information, distributed it only to ancient powers. Krell turned to Kira with accusation. Is this how your personal ambassador addresses diplomatic missions with contradiction? She speaks with my voice and authority. Kira replied, We will verify these claims. The Council archives will contain the human reports. Olivia approached the central display. May I, Ambassador? With respect, I can provide accurate information after receiving grudging permission. Olivia activated her communication device connecting to Earth databases. Images appeared showing encounters with the same unknown vessels Krell had displayed, but with additional information tracking movements mapping, incursions. These beings we call the Void Collective entered human space 2 years ago. Olivia explained. They attacked without provocation, without communication. 3 colony outposts destroyed before we understood the threat pattern. We developed. Defenses shared this knowledge through proper channels, and now they come in force. Krell interrupted. All our analyses predict major invasion, 20, perhaps 30, dreadnought-class vessels gathering beyond the rim. Why tell us this? Now, Ambassador, Kira asked. The Imperium attempted invasion of Lyra 5 years ago. Now you bring warnings of another threat. I must question your motivation." Krell stood silent for a moment, then spoke with unexpected candor. "The Imperium recognizes error in our previous approach. The galaxy fragments into factions. Ancient powers isolate themselves in pride. Newer species struggle alone. The Void. Collective defeats us separately, but together, you propose alliance." Kira said, surprised. The ambassador nodded. "The humans demonstrated unexpected strength in defending Lyra. Their tactics, their adaptability impressed even our military council. Your world combines ancient knowledge with human innovation. We believe this combination might develop defenses against the coming threat." The reception hall erupted in discussion. Noble houses, representatives, military commanders, all voicing opinions, plans, concerns. Kira raised her hand, requesting silence. "Ambassador Krell, we will consider your information. Your warning is received with appropriate gravity. Please accept our hospitality while we consult."